everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name is Sonny. I'm here chilling with Caleb. What's up, dude?
Nothing much, my man.
Alright, so we've got a few things to talk about today. The first, we got a little bit of quick play news.
Very quick.
Yep. What do you got?
Well, let's see. First off, we now know what the next Lost Art promo is going to be.
Ooh.
For those of you who don't know, whenever some of these cards get transferred over from the OCG to the TCG, they kind of have to change the artwork a little bit. A prime example would be on Edge Imp Saber, where they have to, brighten up its blade a bunch, because you can't have blades on a child's card game.
I mean, or Barrel Dragon, which was a giant revolver gun, and they...
Yeah, changed to, little ray gun, toy ray gun looking thing. Again, so in this case, it'll be Storming Wynn. So, if you want to get the Storming Wynn, whenever the promotion starts, you just go to your OTS, your local OTS, and spend $30, and they give you a copy of it for free. The only difference between the Storming, the one we got and the Lost Art is she has a shorter skirt.
Wow.
It's like mid-thigh as compared to just below her knee as it was in our artwork.
It's crazy to me how subtly they censor some of this stuff. I mean, half of the Lost Arts they've done have been Harpy cards, which is just showing a little skin.
Well, I mean, you saw what they did to the War Rocks, right?
No.
Okay, so we have our War Rocks, where the women are wearing armor.
Yeah.
Whenever the OCG just now got War Rocks, and they're wearing bikini armor now. And I'm like, we better be getting that artwork too, man. That was our archetype.
Never changed Japan.
Oh boy. So that's it for that. And the next bit is, there's an upcoming Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels Cup 2021 on August 28th, and it'll have a new Injection Fairy Lilly alt art.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Injection Fairy Lilly, for those you don't know, super old card. You pay 2,000 life points to give a 2,000 attack. It had 1,100 at base?
I think Injection Fairy Lily was 400 at base.
Yeah.
And you could pay 2,000 to make her gain 3,000.
Yeah, make her beefy.
Right.
And, you know, she could run over any 2 tribute monster at the time. Because at the time, the most powerful, the highest attack point monster in the game that was summonable relatively simply was Blue Eyes at 3K. I mean, yeah, you had Great Moth and Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth and Gate Guardian and Blue Eyes Ultimate, but
yeah, but
good luck summoning any of those monsters.
Right.
And then the TCG didn't get Blue Eyes Ultimate until 2008, something like that. We got it after.
Like it was really late.
Yeah, we got it after Blue Eye Shining Dragon. Which, to summon Blue Eye Shining Dragon, requires you tribute Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon.
Yeah, one of those literally unplayable cards that we had for a while.
Oh, yeah. That's about it for quick play news. So we're just going to go ahead real quick, get this quick little commercial break out of the way. We'll be right back.
All right. We do have a couple other things we want to talk about before we get into some new card stuff.
Why don't we start with the Extravaganza you were just in literally earlier today?
Yeah, so before we try to go any further into this, just letting you know, we don't have any of the results yet. I'm sure that there will be some results in the coming days, but
we'll probably have that for Friday's episode, which we record on Wednesday.
Right. So we just do not have the we just don't have the results yet. We don't know what all is. We don't know what all topped. We don't know what all won the event. I can tell you what I saw and some of the people that I saw playing late in the event that I kind of know what they're playing. I know there's some Drytron. I know there's some Tri Brigade. But
I mean, you were playing Tri Brigade, so
yeah. I think there will probably be a Phantom Knights topping. That guy beat me in round 3. So after round 3, he was undefeated.
Ooh.
Yeah. Phantom Knights is a good deck right now. It can do a lot of the same things Drytron can do, and it's also very non-linear. You have to kind of know where to stop it, and if they're playing it properly, they can play around most of the bigger things that hit most of these big combo decks. They can play around the nib. They don't worry about Droll. They can play around a lot. The things that really hurt that deck are like Skullmeister, Ghost Bell.
Contact C can hurt.
A typical Ash Blossom can hurt if you place it correctly.
Yeah, you just gotta know where to drop it.
Yeah. The things that I found myself doing to stop that guy, because we did end up going game 3, I believe. I don't quite remember if we went game 3 or not. I know that I nibbed him at one point. Skullmeisters helped. I try to, if I'm going second, I always side in like Duster and Twin Twisters, because they're gonna have a field with a bunch of like fog blades and stuff in the back.
Oh yeah, fog blades, maybe a Rusty Brigantine or whatever.
Yeah, Rusty Bardiche.
No, not Bardiche.
Shade Brigantine.
Shade Brigantine, yes, thank you.
Right. So what they'll probably have is like 2 fog blades and like a Phantom Knights rank up magic force or whatever it's called, which will let them rank up their Arc Rebellion Xyz into something else. But yeah, I got somebody over the weekend. I got somebody really, really, really brutally within Nibiru. He didn't play around it at all, and he wasn't expecting it.
Ooh, gotta love to see it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's a very nice guy. He joined the server after the match, and we talked about it. He said just people at his locals are not playing Nibiru at all right now. So
Weird.
A lot of people aren't playing Nibiru right now. So, but it was a really interesting. It's been an interesting last few days for me. So, like, for those that don't know, Thursday. So we record Wednesday, episode posted Friday, but Thursday in between, I was actually in a pretty good car wreck. I T-boned somebody, but she turned right in front of me. But so Thursday I was dealing with that. Friday I took the day off work to deal with that and to deal with like insurance stuff and everything. And then Saturday I was still pretty sore and I just kind of stayed home. And then somebody from our server hit me up and they were like, "Hey, we need one more person. We'll do some side events in this extravaganza." So I hopped in, and I signed. He got me to sign up for the giant card. And then while I was there, I was like, let's just go ahead and do a Win-A-Mat. So I do the Win-A-Mat. Round 1, I played against, I don't remember. So we only had 6 people for that Win-A-Mat, and 2 people got buys round 1, but I had to play. So I play round 1, I win. I don't really remember what I played against. It wasn't something super meta.
I mean, there's a long list of decks that could be.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. I wish I could remember what it was. Because I can't remember off the top. But I know that I got... I won round 1. Round 2, I played against Cyber Dragon. That guy was also very cool. I had literally just had all the answers for him. And then round 3, I played against the Phantom Knights guy. And I'm glad I got that match in. I'm glad I got that match in Saturday because I played against another one today. But I went ahead and got that match in. And I won that, so I won the Win-A-Mat. And then I wasn't planning on doing the main event today. But then when I won the Win-A-Mat, I got free entry into the main event. So I was like,
ooh,
I may as well, So I signed up for the main event. It starts at 11 o'clock our time. And so I do the main event. Round 1, I played against a Tri-Brigade player, but he didn't really know what was going on. He didn't even know you could activate multiple Tri-Brigade effects on the same turn.
Big oof.
Yeah, he was playing like a Lyrilish Tri-Brigade Gizmek build. It was very weird. But, basically he was like just using the Gizmeks to search DD Crow, which was really weird. But at one point I summoned Karis, activated an effect for 2, summoned Ferjit the Baron Blossom, activated her effect to summon Fractal, and then activated Fractal to banish from my graveyard. He was like, wait a minute. Can you activate Fractal's effect to banish the same turn that you activated Karis' effect to banish? And I was like, yeah. He goes, I don't think you can do that because it's the same effect. I was like, it does the same thing, but it's a different card. Mm-hmm. So it's a different name, a different effect, And we had to call a judge on it. And this is after he had gotten a PE minor for mulliganing his hand. Yeah, dude literally mulliganed his hand.
For those of you who don't know, who obviously can't see that, my eyes got saucer plate big just then when he said that. I was like,
yeah, Caleb, I hadn't told you about this.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Caleb's eyes got real wide, and he looked at me.
Like, excuse me?
Yeah. No, the dude at the beginning of the match, we cut, we did our die roll. I was gonna go first, and he, I was like, all right, I'll go first. He's like, okay, cool. And I said, yeah, let's just go ahead and wait for the judges to announce start of round, you know. And I look away. He goes, okay. And I look over to play my music, and when I look back, he is shuffling his deck, and his whole hand is gone. I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, well, you said we had to wait for the judges to start the round, and I didn't realize that. So he goes, I already had my hand out, and I had already looked, so I just went ahead and shuffled it back and started over. And I was like, I mean, you can't do that. It's like, you can't just look at your hand and then, like, shuffle it back. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And so we had to get the judge happened to join in the call as I was saying that. And the judge was like, whoa, what are you talking about? What just happened? And I explained it to him. And he was like, oh, okay. Hold on a second. And like a minute later, the head judge was in the call. And he was like, what happened? And the other guy explained what he did. And then they were like, is that what happened? And then I said, yeah, so this is what happened. And I told them how it happened from my perspective. And they were like, okay, I think this is kind of just a misunderstanding. It was pretty obvious it was the guy's first, like, event.
Yeah.
And they were like, I think this is just a misunderstanding. They're like, look, just go ahead. Match hasn't started yet. You know, go ahead and shuffle. We're not going to give any game losses or anything. Just, you know, we'll just do a PE minor right here. Don't let it happen again the rest of the tournament, and you should be good. So they give him a PE minor, and we start over, and I 2-0 him, like, super quick. They gave us a 7-minute extension, and we still ended with 25 minutes left in round.
Well, it'd be how it be, man.
Yeah, so. And then round 2, I played against Drytron. I beat him 2-1.
As you do.
Yeah. Game 1, he went first. I opened Imperm, Effect Veiler, and then 2 starters.
Gee, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he, like, started doing Drytron stuff, and I was like, he summoned the Mubeta, and I was like, Effect Veiler? He was like, oh, that's rough. Like, yeah. Does a few more Drytron things, summons another one, summons a Link Grebo, normal summon Diviner, Imperm? He was like, oh my goodness, that's rough. And then he, like, linked the Mubeta and the Diviner away and made a Masquerena and just passed on Link Grebo Masquerena. And I was like, oh boy.
Ooh, I get to do things this turn.
Right.
Yoink. And
so I draw for turn. I do some stuff. I banish some stuff. He goes, Effective Masquerena. Okay. Make a Nightmare Unicorn. Shuffle back your Karis. I was like, well, that was my normal summon for the turn. I was like, okay. Make Zeus. Because I had a Barrage in hand. I was like,
yeah, just do some Zeus
yeah,
things.
I hit him for 16, and I was like, okay, Zeus. He's like, all right, cool. And I don't know what possessed me to not activate Zeus right there. So I set a call by. I pass with a 4-stack Zeus. And what does this man do? Draw for turn, 2 cards in from 1 card in hand to 2 cards in hand. He goes, oh, that works. Activate Red Eyes Fusion. Oh, come on! I lost probably 5 games to Dragoon today.
Rough.
I lost a lot of games to Dragoon.
You know what you should totally do?
What?
Just main Prohibition. Every single time you see it, activate Prohibition, declare Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Dragoon's not a problem anymore.
Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah, dude, Dragoon's so crazy. So he did that, and then he... so that's how I lost game 1, and then I got in games 2 and 3. Basically, the same thing happened. Game 2, I just made it like a 4 negate Appaloosa and had Revolt, and I think it's something else, set maybe an anti-spell. It was just like, nothing you can do there. And then,
yup.
And then game 3, I just had, what did I have? I had...
You had Gas?
He had a good opener, but I opened double Imperm again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was rough. And so I double impermed him again.
Man, I wish I had half the skill you have opening double imperm.
Multiple times. Yeah, I'm just so incredibly skillful at the game. Turns out if you imperm that Mubeta Fafnir, they just can't play. They just can't play.
Good to know.
Because they can't detach material from him to use as ritual material.
Because you can't even activate his effect.
That's not even an activated effect. It's just part of his effect that they can't use.
Yeah.
They can still target him so that he can still be 2K, but they can't use him. They can't detach the materials from him.
Yeah.
So, like, they have to actually tribute him. And
that's rough.
If you do it on summon, they can't Foolish One. So they've got 2 material, they got 2 names that are soaked up underneath him that they can't do anything with.
So they have to link or tribute it away for something to do anything.
And they have to hope that they already have their ritual spell and a ritual monster to keep going.
And if they don't...
It makes things super duper awkward for them. So
rough, buddy.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see. Dude, if you can stop that thing, it makes things so awkward. And then game 3, I just opened the nuts again. And then round 3, I played against Phantom Knights. He Dragooned me both games, and I lost both games to Dragoon, more or less. I'm not wrong. There was more to it than that. There was a lot more interplay. I mean...
Yeah, but Dragoon was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, both times.
It was the literal nail in the proverbial coffin.
Yeah, for sure. He had it. And then my last round of the main event, I played against... I don't remember what I played against in the last round. I can picture his setup, but I don't remember the deck. I don't know. It wasn't... I can tell you some things that it wasn't, but I can't tell you... It may have been Drytron again, honestly. Yeah, it was.
Ah, there you go.
It was Drytron.
I knew if you sat there and and had a moment to think about it, you remember.
Wait, no, it wasn't.
No?
I don't know what it was.
Dick nabbit!
I know I played against another Drytron later in the Attack of the Giant card, which after I lost that round, I immediately and right as I dropped that round, the Giant card was starting. And so Virtual World. It was Virtual World.
There you go.
I got 2-0 by Virtual World. He was running Dragoon. So then I went from there to the Giant card. Giant card started. I did 3 rounds there. First round, there were 40 players. There were 24 buys in the first round.
How does that happen?
So there's 40 players, and they need to eliminate 8.
Oh.
So 16 have to play, which means there's 24 buys. So there's 24 buys in the first round to get it down to 32. Because everything was single elimination.
Okay, I see how.
And guess what? Your boy did not get a bye that round. So I have to play an extra round. So I win my first round against, hilariously, a guy from our server, Adil. He messaged me and he was like, "Hey, we need somebody for a Giant card. If you do it, I got your entry." I was like, "All right, cool." And then I played him round 1.
Oh no!
Yeah, I literally played him round 1.
Oh,
it was so tragic. He was playing Gren Maju, and it was a good game. He got a game off me. I won 2-1 though, but it was a good game. So Adil, I know you're listening. Shout out. Round 2, I played against. That was Fluffle.
Well then.
I'm just simply, I hate to say this, I'm simply more skillful than he is. I opened IO and Anti-Spell in consecutive games.
If you have the IO, do you even really need the Anti-Spell?
Oh, no, game 1 was IO, game 2 was Anti-Spell.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Actually, no, game 1 it might not have even been IO. I may have just stopped what he... I don't know. The point is I got it. Yeah. And I know I had Anti-Spell game 2, and there was just nothing he could do in time. So... and there was no game 3. He also joined the server because all the cool kids are joining our Discord server these days. My next opponent was Drytron. I lost this match. This was the match that I got eliminated. He opened up with a move I've never seen before.
Ooh. Gotta hear this.
Oh, the Fluffle guy was actually extremely interesting. He bricked game 1. That's what it was. I didn't open IO. He bricked. And he set 1 monster, set 3 back row, and passed. He set double imperm, 1 unknown, and a monster. And I just made my whole board. And he was like, okay. And he looked at my board and he looked at what I had going on. He was like, yeah. He's like, you played through double imperm. I think you got it. And he just picked it up and he was like, yeah, you got this game. Let's just go into game 2. I was like, okay. And we got into game 2. And that's what it was. That's how he did get a game off me. Because we went into game 2. I had no idea what I was playing as. I shot it in generic going second cards. I saw 3 back row. I thought he was playing Guru.
Oh my god.
3 back row and set 1? I thought he was playing Guru.
And you never got to see the set 1 because he just scooped.
Exactly. So I sided in Duster.
Big brain.
Yeah, I sided in Duster, Twin Twisters. I sided in a couple of Droplets. And we go into game 2, and he just starts doing all these fluffle things. I was like, oh no, I'm in danger.
Yeah, because I didn't side into my anti-fluffle stuff because I didn't know you were on Fluffle.
That's exactly what I told him.
Whoops.
He's like, yep, I did it on purpose. And then game 3, I went first, and that's when I sided in anti-spells, nibs, skullmeisters.
Everything you would need.
Yeah, and I drew a bunch of my side deck cards in game. I drew a bunch of side deck cards in game 3. I just won the game. And then round 3, like I said, that's Drytron. He opens his first play of the game, Jack in the Box.
Really?
Have you ever heard of Jack in the Box?
I haven't heard the name of that card in a long
It's from Phantom Rage. It's a new card.
Oh. What am I thinking of? Toy Box.
Yeah, no. This is a new card from Phantom Rage. Okay, for those of you that don't know what this card does, select 3 level 1 monsters from your deck with different names. Your opponent chooses one to add to their hand. You choose one to add to your hand. And the other one gets shuffled back to the deck. So if you open your Drytron combo with Jack in the Box, you reveal Alpha, Zeta, Gamma. Your opponent adds one to their hand. You get a free search. And the other one goes back into your deck. So it gives you a free Drytron name with no restrictions. Isn't that hilarious?
Oh, it's Jack in the Hand, not Jack in the Box.
Oh, Jack in the Hand. I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous.
I think it was a secret rare from Phantom Rage.
No, it's a common.
It was a common?
I pulled it up on TCG Player.
Okay, yeah. So
still, that's kind of silly.
It is. It was a hilariously cool tech. I've really loved it. I think that guy also joined our server, honestly.
Well, hey, if he did, that's some big brain stuff, my dude. Because then no matter which one your opponent picks,
yeah,
you get to add a combo starter to your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
The only defect is that then you have to run multiples of all of the names.
Here's the thing. You're already running 3 Alpha. You're already running 3 Zeta. You're already running 3 Gamma, and you're already running 1 to 2 Delta.
Yeah, it only all that changes is that now you're required to run 2 Delta.
Not even, because then you can just do 1 Alpha, 1 Zeta, 1 Gamma.
That's fair. I keep thinking you have to pick one of each.
No, you only do 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
My brain's not fully working right now. But yeah, no, that because no matter which one your opponent picks, you have a starter. Yeah. You get a starter.
It's amazing. It's really a very nifty card. So, but he opened that, and I was like, "What the hell am I playing against right now?" I was so confused. But yeah, long story short, I'm not gonna blame that on anything but myself. He just played the game well.
I mean, Jack in the Hand.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that he had a jack up his sleeve.
Yeah. I got game 1 off him. He got games 2 and 3, I believe. So he played well, and it just wasn't in the cards, honestly. I mean, it'd be like that. That's like the Phantom Knight. I remember what happened in the Phantom Knights in the main event today, round 3. My opening hand, game 1, was Revolt, 10 key, 10 key, 10 key, Ghost Bell. That was my opening hand.
How do you just make a Zeus and pass? Or no, you were going first, yeah?
No, I went second.
Oh, yeah, do you just make a Zeus and pass?
No, he had a full board. I literally couldn't do anything.
Oh no!
He had double Fog Blade, rank up Magic Force with the Bardiche and the Dark Rebellion, so he was able to rank up into Dark Requiem and pop my only summon. Yeah, so I was like, Tanky? He's like, yeah, it's cool. Fractal, Nerval, Kit, Normal Summon Karis, and activate the rank up and pop. I was like, okay, well, that's the end of my turn. I literally just lose the game now. Yeah, it was crazy. And then game 2, I think I opened like Nerval. What did I open? Nerval, Thoroughblade. I don't know. I posted on Twitter. I don't remember what the exact hands were. They were weird. But somebody from the server was watching that game, and after that, he was just like, "Yeah, when you can't play the game, you can't play the game."
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. I was having a good time though. I had fun overall. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next one. Hopefully, I'll do some more Winnamats next time and keep winning all these Winnamats.
Oh yeah, same. Hopefully, I'll be able to join next time as well.
For sure. Now that I wasted half an hour talking about random tournaments.
No. It's cool. It's still fascinating to hear about how people do various tournaments.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Okay, so moving on. We will.
New archetype.
Yes, new archetype. Okay, so the new archetype we have for Grand Creators. It's the archetype that they described as an Exceed archetype that saves souls. They're called the Exorsisters.
Which I have not read these at all between the rec and all this stuff I've been doing. I have not had time. So
the idea is that they're nuns that do exorcisms. That is their shtick. So to start with, we have Exorsister Elise.
Okay.
Let's see. She's a level 5, level 5. She's a level 4 light spellcaster. 500 attack, 800 defense.
If any of these were level 5, they would be so much worse.
I know, right? Okay, so you can only use this card names first and second effects once per turn. 1. If you control an Exorsister monster, base, if you control another member of this archetype, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if you control Exorsister Stella, gain 800 life points. 2. If this card leaves any graveyard, if a card or cards leaves any graveyards by an opponent's card, you can special summon an Exorcister Exceed monster from your extra deck using this card you control as material. It's treated as an Exceed summon.
Okay, so something you're going to notice is that all of these cards have that effect. If a card leaves any graveyard by an opponent's card, you can special summon an Exorcister Exceed monster from your extra deck using this card as material.
Yes, it lets you make 1 stack Exceed monsters. The key thing, though, is that it has to leave the field by their card effect. But based on that, if you're like, let's say you hand trap
the graveyard, it has to leave the graveyard.
Yeah, doesn't matter why though. So let's say you hand trap your opponent and they activate Call by the grave. Hey, a monster left the graveyard. Overlay.
Yeah, and you can stack all of their effects too.
Oh yeah, no. Like, so if you have 4 of them out and they do that, just 4 overlays right there. Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Also, all of them, all the main deck ones, all have this effect where if you control Exorcister name, gain 800 life points. They all have this effect toward another one. For instance, Elise is connected to Stella, who is the next card on the list, actually.
Right.
Elaine.
So Stella is connected to Elaine.
Yes. So Exorcister Stella, level 4 light spellcaster.
Wait, no, Elaine. You just read Stella.
No, I just read Elise. That was Elise I just read.
Oh, okay. I scrolled too far.
Yeah. So next up is Stella. Level 4 light spellcaster, 300 attack, 800 defense. You can only use this card's names first and second effects once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon an Exorcister monster from your hand. Then if you control Exorcister Elise, gain 800 life points. So, if you activate Stella to special summon Elise, you gain 1600 life points, because both their effects will pop off.
Right.
And then if a card leaves any graveyard, blah, 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 the standard Exorcister effect.
Right.
The next up we have Elaine, level 4 light spellcaster, 400 attack, 800 defense. Same thing, but you can return an Exorcister card in your hand to the bottom of the deck, draw a card, and then if you control Exorcister Sophia, gain 800 life points.
Okay.
Sophia is, if you control another Exorsister monster, she's also level 4 light spellcaster, 100 attack, 800 defense. If you control another Exorcist monster, draw 1 card, then if you control Elaine, gain 800 life points.
Okay, so the main deck names are Elise, Elaine, Stella, and Sophia.
Yes.
That is so gonna confuse me.
Yeah. Elaine and Sophia are connected, and then Stella and Elise's effects are connected.
The artworks are kind of cool, though.
I know, right? And so if you notice how, let's see, how 2 of them are carrying around these big bags, there's a reason for that, which we'll get to in a second. The Exceed monsters, the picture of the lady with the white outfit with the big sword that a couple of people thought was Fleur-de-Lis out of her armor.
Yeah,
that's Exorsister Michaelis, combining the name Michael and Elise.
So Michaelis.
Yes.
Like that.
Rank 4 light warrior Exceed effect monster, 2,500 attack, 1,800 defense. Exceed materials, 2 level 4 monsters, generic. You can only use this card's first and third effects once per turn. If this card was Exceed summoned previously this turn by using the Exorsister monster as material, quick effect: target 1 card in your opponent's controls or in the graveyard, banish it.
So you can target any card in their field or grave.
Yep. And the thing is that it says that you just have to have used, and you can only do it the turn you Exceed summon it using an Exorsister monster. And that includes your opponent special summoning a monster out of your graveyard and you just popping it on top of something.
1 monster reborn ends your whole career.
Yeah, you just immediately banish what they just monster born or something else. Or if you even just hard make them normally.
So
as long as you have an
Exorsister,
Exorcister.
that should be accounted for is that it's very critical to know. You know what? Let's finish reading the effect then.
Yeah. 2. Cannot be destroyed by battle with monsters that are special summoned from the graveyard. And 3. You can detach 1 from this card to search any Exorcist or spell or trap from deck to hand.
So it's really critical to note that, let's just say in the instance of, Monster Reborn, something to note about the way that their effects would stack on a chain. So, activate Monster Reborn, for example, targeting just prank kids. They run Monster Reborn. So say prank kids fancies.
Yeah.
So the way that this effect would resolve is just say, for example, you control Exorsister Elise, and your opponent activates Monster Reborn targeting fancies. So how this works is, Monster Reborn effect resolves, fancies get summoned. Then Elise triggers
on a new chain
and summons herself. It summons an Exceed.
Yeah,
say Michaelis. So then, if your opponent has no responses, then that resolves, and then you summon Michaelis. And then, at that point, it becomes a quick effect to target 1 monster your opponent controls or in the graveyard and banish it.
But not on summon.
Correct. So, what this means is, for the astute listeners, if you have an Elise on field, and your opponent Monster Reborns, say the Monster Reborn a Pankratops, you can, if they summon Pankratops, they have the timing to activate his effect, because the summon will resolve.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be careful. I'm pretty sure that's correct. If that's not correct, I'm sure somebody will correct me. But
yeah,
the card has to be in the proper place so basically, because these cards are trigger effects, they'll activate on the resolution of the chain in which their trigger was met. So you have to wait basically for the chain to, kind of like if you Tri-Brigade Revolt is like chain link 2 or 3, you have to wait for the whole chain to resolve before you can activate all your Tri-Brigade effects. So it's just something to be aware of,
cognizant of. Now, something you can absolutely, so basically in the case of Revolt, what would happen is the chain would resolve with your Shurag coming out. But
Right.
then on the chain where Shurag's effects popping off, all the other effects are popping off, is when you could then pop off their overlay effects.
Correct. And then there would be then once they are successfully summoned, there would be yet another effect that Okay, so a great example. If you activate Tri-Brigade Revolt while Elise is on field, you can activate Revolt, successfully resolve Revolt. As long as you summoned a monster from the graveyard, you would summon, do all your summons, perform a link summon Omen, and then chainlink 1, depending on whose turn it is.
Yeah.
They might be chainlink 1. But if it's on your turn, then you would do chainlink 1 Omen, chainlink 2 Nerval, chainlink 3 Kit, for example.
And then chainlink 4 would be the Elise.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, how it resolves at that point is, Elise summons the Exorsister, and then the Kit resolves, Nerval resolves, Shurag resolves here, and Shurag can banish that Exorsister before she has a chance to activate her effect.
Correct.
So you have to be, that's what I'm saying is, that's what I'm trying to say is...
You have to be very cognizant on when you pop them off.
Right. You have to be careful, because if you activate them when at the later part of a chain, you have a chance for them not to get their effects before they get removed from the field.
Correct.
Because they have to wait until the chain is resolved before they can start activating their effects.
Exactly. So in the case of Tri-Brigade, it's not the best because of how Tri-Brigade likes to use
Not
Revolt.
after Revolt.
Yeah. Yeah, like any of your other ones, it'll probably be, like, if they, if they're just banishing for the effect, then it'd probably be fine, depending upon whether or not they're like, yeah, I'm just going to go straight for Shurag. If they're going straight for Shurag.
Something like that, yeah.
Anyway, but, so that was Mikalis.
Yeah, Mikalis.
Next up is Exorsister Caspatel. Rank 4 Light Warrior, 2300 attack, 800 defense.
Yep.
Generic 2 level 4s. Yep. Can only use cards first and third effects once per turn. If this card was succeed summoned by using an Exorcister monster you control as material, you can activate this effect. For the rest of the turn, neither player can special summon from the graveyard.
Big oof.
Cannot be destroyed by battle with monsters special summoned from the graveyard. All the Exorcister Exceeds have that effect.
Yeah, so that it's important to note that finish the third effect.
Third effect is detach 1, add an Exorcister monster from deck to hand.
So the important part about this is if this card is exceed summoned by an Exorcister monster by using an Exorcister as material, a colon, you can activate this effect, semicolon. For the rest of this turn, neither player can special summon. So what that is that's a trigger effect that happens
on a new chain after it gets summoned.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then after that, we have Exorsister Jabrine. Rank 4 Light Warrior, 1400 attack, 2000 defense. Again, generic. If it was Exceed Summon previously this turn using an Exorcister monster's material, quick effect. Target one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects for the rest of the turn. And can't be destroyed by battle, by blah blah blah. You can detach 1. For the rest of this turn, all Exceed monsters you control will gain 800 attack.
I tell you what, it does leave some very, very interesting interactions, though, just with the amount of stuff you can do. I mean, if your opponent does something from their graveyard, you basically can decide, do I want to quick effect negate? Do I want to stop special summons from the graveyard?
Do I want to just banish something?
Yeah, I mean, it's really an interesting amount of interplay that can go into this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and if your opponent does it during your turn, then you also have to think of, well, I can also just search, get a free search. There's all kinds of things you can do there.
Right.
Or you can just straight up go for game by detach 1. All your Exceed monsters gain 800 attack.
Yeah. So the last one is Exorsister Usophiel.
Mm-hmm.
A rank 4 Light Warrior Exceeds effect monster, 2100 attack and 1800 defense. The materials is 2 level 4s. You can just any 2 level 4 monsters. You can only use the first and third effects once per turn. If this card is Exceed summoned by using an Exorcister monster's material, you can activate this effect. For the rest of this turn, neither player can activate any card effect in the graveyard. So, not just monsters, but cards.
Mm-hmm.
2 cannot be destroyed by activated monster effects for monsters that are special from the graveyard. And 3, you can detach one material from this card, then target one monster your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So you can either get a Compulse, you can get a Banish, you can get a...
Compulse, you can get...
I said that already.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, you can get Banish, Compulse,
Gain 800.
Yeah, 8
Search 1.
Yeah, search a spell or trap or monster. All kinds of things you can get there.
For real. It's a good... The monsters have some good effects.
Oh, wait until you hear the spells.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the spells do, because, like I said, I don't know what any of this does. This is really interesting.
Alright, so first off, we have Exorsister Archtype, quick play spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can only activate this card during your opponent's turn, unless your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the graveyard. Pay 800 life points, then target one Exorsister monster you control, special summon from your extra deck an Exorsister Exceed monster with a different name from the monsters you control by using that monster control's material. This triggers an Exceed summon, transfer materials to summon monster.
Yo, that's pretty good.
Yep. Now, keep in mind that it also specifies you can target you can special summon an Exorsister Exceed monster with a different name from the monster you control by using that monster you control. You can, so if you have, let's say you have Usophiel, and you want to switch it over to Jabrine, activate this, you can overlay the Jabrine over the Usophiel.
Oh, true.
There's literally nothing stopping you from doing that. You just can't overlay. That's why they specify it has to be a different name.
Like similar how Zodiacs can stack on top of each other.
Exactly.
Right.
But the Exorcisters can only do it through this quick play.
Right.
But that's the reason why they specify so you can't just do an Usophiel on top of another Usophiel.
Right.
It's got to be two different ones. A continuous spell card called Exorsister Carpe Dibel, like Carpe Diem, but Dibel. Let's see, you can only use the second and third effects once per turn. Exorcister monsters you control cannot be targeted by monster effects from monsters that are special summoned from the graveyard. If you exceed summon an Exorcister monster, declare a card name for the rest of this turn, negate the activated effects and the effects on the field of cards with that original name. 3. When an attack is declared involving your Exorcister monster, target a spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it.
Yo.
So anytime you exceed summon, you get to just prohibit a card.
Yeah.
And then when you attack, just also pop on their back row.
It's pretty good.
Oh yeah, all in the same card. And then they have a trap card called Exorsister Vadis. Normal trap card, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Pay 800 for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. You cannot special summon from the monsters from the extra deck except Exorcister monsters. Also special summon 2 Exorcister monsters from your deck, but so that the first's name is listed in the second's text. But shuffle them back to the deck during the end phase.
Okay, so you can get like either Elise and Sophie or
No, you can get Elise and Stella,
that's what it is.
Or Elaine and Sophia.
Okay.
It has to be any combination of those two. And then they
also Ties of the Brethren.
Yeah, they also mention Ties of the Brethren because they kind of like the card. It's nice to have in the deck. It's not needed, but yeah, like this deck also loves Reinforcement of the Army. And Honest. Any light warrior.
I was about to say, are they all light?
They're all okay, so the main deck ones are all light spellcasters. The Exceeds are all light warriors.
So, for those that don't know what Ties of the Brethren does, pay 2,000 life points, then target one level 4 lower monster you control. For the rest of this turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters. Also, special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same type, attribute, and level as that monster, but with different names from each other and that monster. And you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card.
So ideally, what you could do is that if you know your opponent is about to do Monster Born or something like that, you just activate this
and put a couple more names on the board, and then you can just go nuts.
Yeah, then pass turn when your opponent activates that card, overlay on top.
Right. It seems useful.
Oh yeah, it's not the best.
Okay, so this archetype seems like it's incredibly format dependent.
Oh, absolutely. It's best in formats where a lot of the decks do lots of manipulation of the graveyard via banishing for their own costs, special summoning constantly. A great example of that would be
this format right now.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. Prank
Kids, Tri Brigade, Dragon Link,
Drytron,
all love
special summoning from the grave.
Or just moving stuff in and out of the grave. For instance, with Dragon Link, when they drop Levianeer, they have to banish 3, which immediately pops off the Exorsister effects.
Right.
To just overlay on top. Tri Brigade, all the Tri Brigade monsters can do that whole banish to cheat out a Link monster, plus Revolt. Drytron likes recurring their spells out of the grave, which also triggers their effects.
Right. And plus all the Drytrons can activate in grave. So.
Yeah. But they don't. I don't think they move anything through the grave. I don't think
they summon themselves out of the graveyard when they activate in grave.
There you go. Yeah, that would pop off their effects as well.
So like a common Drytron play is like if you have Zeta and Alpha in hand, you would activate Zeta, tribute Alpha. So Alpha goes to grave and Zeta summons itself and you start your ritual spell.
Yeah.
And then or better yet, activate Alpha, tribute Zeta. Zeta goes to grave, Alpha summons, then you search Ben 10. And then you tribute the Ben 10 in hand to activate Zeta in grave. And Zeta would summon itself from graveyard. Ben 10 would get tributed. You would search a ritual spell. And then Ben 10 activates. So you're already summoning one from grave right there.
Oh yeah. Something else you can do, which I just realized, was with a quick play, if your opponent targets one of your Exorcisters, you can just, during their turn, you can just chain the equip spell and the quick play and switch it over to a different one.
Yeah, that's true.
And
then
dodge
the target's not on the field.
Yeah, and let you dodge some silly stuff. Overall, like you said, the archetype is very format dependent. Actually right now we're in a fairly good format for it. I mean, even with the upcoming archetypes like Sword Soul, and the B Trooper archetype that just came out that probably
Flunderies.
I don't think. Well, no, because Flunderies don't do anything with the graveyard.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. How reliant on the graveyard is Sword Soul?
I don't know yet. I'm personally not 100% sure on that. Because as far as I know, they just synchro summon and stuff just kind of goes to the graveyard, and I don't think they recur out.
I think to be any kind of a synchro summon heavy deck,
you kind of have to.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of recursion.
Maybe. Well, I don't have the cards right here in front of me. And
right.
it has been out, and I don't watch a lot of OCG. I don't watch a lot of OCG. I just kind of read the articles when they come out. So I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll have to wait and see.
It'll be interesting to see exactly how this archetype fits into other formats.
Oh, absolutely. This is, it's definitely going to be an absolutely fascinating archetype.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
So next we have my favorite thing that nobody else seems to like. A bunch of Dark Magician and Blue Eye support.
Oh, yeah. But before we get into that, we should probably talk about our sponsor.
Absolutely.
Our continued sponsor.
That's it. So we do have a sponsor to talk about, which is ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana, called Enter the Battlefield Games. So they were gracious enough to sponsor us for... What we do is basically we talk a little bit about the shop, let everybody know how much we love going there personally. It is our locals, but the cool thing is they host Battle City Days once a month or so-ish. So this month's Battle City Day is on August 21st, which is this upcoming Saturday. So if you're basically within like 3.5 to 4 hours, I think it's worth coming out. The prize support is pretty awesome. This coming main event is a GOAT format tournament, and there will be advanced tournaments on the side, as well as we might get a 2011 Plane Synchro format tournament going.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So if you are interested, please be sure to come by, check us out. Typically, me and Caleb are there. I don't think I'll be there this weekend because of some personal stuff.
And I don't have a ride.
Yeah. So, but be sure to check it out. It is a great venue. And then also be sure to check them out online at etbgames.com. Their link to that is in the description below.
As always.
So thank you again so much for everybody for checking that out. So on to the Dark Magician and Blue Eye support cards.
This is now, as far as we know, this is all coming out of the set after.
Well, no. Okay, so we have 3 cards coming from the Megatons.
Yes.
And then there's cards coming from the
Battle of Chaos.
Yeah. So the 3 cards coming from the Megatons. The first card is a field spell card called Magician Salvation. You can only activate a card with this card's name once per turn, and you can only activate the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So, first effect, when this card's activation resolves, you can set 1 Eternal Soul directly from your deck, which is pretty good. Second effect, which is the once per turn effect, if you normal or special summon Dark Magicians or Dark Magicians girls, Dark Magician with an S at the end, or Dark Magician girl with an S at the end. So
just so you're aware, if you
it's so weird to read.
If you special summon 2 Dark Magicians or a Dark Magician and a Dark Magician girl,
or one,
it doesn't matter how many you summon. When you summon anything that has Dark Magician girl in its name,
you can target one of those monsters. Special summon from the graveyard 1 Dark Magician or Dark Magician girl whose name is different from the target. So if you summon 1 Dark Magician, then you can summon 1 Dark Magician girl. If you summon 2 Dark Magicians, you can summon 1 Dark Magician girl.
But if you summon a Dark Magician and a Dark Magician girl, you can pick one or the other and you get the opposite.
Right.
So let's say you summon Dark Magician girl, you want a second Dark Magician, effect target Dark Magician girl, second Dark Magician.
Exactly.
In that situation.
Yeah, it's an interesting card. Continuous spell card called Shatter the Darkness. You can only use each of this card's name once per turn. Each effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, if you normal or special summon a non-token normal monster, you can draw 1 card. Just that easy. When one of the following monsters you control declares an attack and battles an opponent's monster until the end of the turn, the monster gains attack equal to the attack of your opponent's monster. So when one of the following, so these are the following: a level 5 or higher normal monster, a ritual summoned monster that uses a normal monster, or a fusion, synchro, or Xyz summon monster that used a normal monster as material.
So one thing I want to point out is notice how none of this specifically designates that it has to be Dark Magician. It's just a normal monster.
Yep.
Guess who loves spamming the same normal monster over and over again? Sue Ships. Magic-Key.
Dude, you know what's so funny?
What's that?
They had to specify a non-token normal monster because
I know that because
Zhang's
exactly they love
Sword Souls
because they love spamming the tokens. Not just Sword Soul.
Lots of decks.
Yeah, bloody the Bee Trooper deck. If you're running multiplication and answer the field spell, pump out tokens over and over.
Or all of these synchro spam, synchro climb, link climb decks that
run Halka Fibrax.
Yeah, anything with a Halka Fibrax or Rorodon.
Yeah.
Nope, none of that.
Yep, it's got to be your bog standard vanilla like Sabersaurus or Cabazal. Right.
Well, level 5 or higher normal, or a ritual summon monster that uses normal, or a fusion synchro or Xyz that use no normal as a material. So, if you're running a Dark Magician deck, almost anything will get you the prerequisite materials.
Oh yeah. Or if you're running Sue Ship, anytime you overlay, you're going to be using the vanilla.
Right.
So then not only will you then get to draw a card just for activating one of your card effects, you'll then also get the
attack buff.
Yeah, the attack buff just for swinging over something, which pretty much turns any attack over a monster into a direct attack.
Right.
Plus, you also eliminate their monster.
So the next is a continuous trap card called the True Light. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, apply one of the following. Special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or graveyard. Directly set to your field from your deck 1 spell or trap that specifically lists the card Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text that has a different name from the cards you control and in your graveyard. Second effect, Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. Third effect, if this face-up card and spell and trap card zone is sent to the graveyard, destroy all monsters you control. So, for those people that don't know, this is basically almost exactly the same as Eternal Soul, but a little bit better. So, it does all the same things that Eternal Soul does.
But it's for Blue Eyes.
Right. If it's sent to the graveyard, it destroys all monsters you control. It allows you to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, or it lets you summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from hand or graveyard once per turn. This one lets you directly set a spell or trap from your hand or deck. It allows you to set one to your field from your deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes, which is way better than the Dark Magician version. Because Eternal Soul does not do that.
Yeah.
And if it did, you could set Dark Magical Circle, which would be broken.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, we all know the only card anybody would ever set with this. Bingo Machine Go. Let's go!
Yeah, dude, that card's awesome. So, I don't know near as much about the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck as I know about the Dark Magician deck. Because, I ran the Dark Magician deck. I never ran Blue Eyes White Dragon. But what I do know is that card's really good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So next up is another wave of support coming out in...
Woo!
Yeah, coming out in Battles of Chaos, which is the next...
Core set after Dawn of Magic. Or, not Dawn of Magic. The core set
Burst of
after
Destiny.
Burst of Destiny.
Yeah, it's the next OCG set.
For those that don't know, sometimes YG Organization does some hilarious URLs. The URL for this one is ygorganization.com/the story of an angry wizard.
Oh, that's good.
And because it's all Dark Magician support, literally all of this. So,
and actually the first line of this article is, "I'll have you know the game is called Duel Monsters."
So the first card here, which it shows the pack cover, which the pack cover looks awesome.
Yes, we also know who that monster is. What the name of the monster that's on the front.
And we'll get there.
It's the last one on the list.
So the first one is Magi Karibo.
It is Karibo cosplaying Dark Magician.
Literally.
First time I saw it, I was like, "Hey guys, he turned himself Dark Magician turned himself into Karibo. Funniest thing I've ever seen."
My headcanon is that Karibo is actually just Kirby and he ate Dark Magician.
You do know that Karibo just means Chestnut Man, right?
I don't understand what that means.
The name Karibo, it means Chestnut Man.
Chestnut Man.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because he looks like a chestnut.
Oh, I guess. Very hairy chestnut. So it's a level 1 Dark Fiend effect monster, 300 attack, 200 defense. You can only use this card's name's first and second effect each once per turn. First effect, during the main or battle phase, if you took battle damage or damage from an opponent's card effect this turn, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon one Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl from your deck or graveyard. The second effect, if a face-up spellcaster monster you control is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand. So, it's not really good, but it's cute.
Oh, absolutely. It's adorable.
All right, the next card...
it's Karibo cosplaying as Dark Magician. Let's not...
It's so awesome.
Just get 3, stick them in your binder so you can look at them.
I hope they're secret rare just because they're adorable.
Let's see. In the OCG, it is a common or a super. No. It is a secret.
It's probably got multiple rarities.
No in them.
So, the next card is Dimension Conjurer.
Level 1 Dark Spellcaster, 500 attack and defense. Let's see. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn. What's normal special summon? Add a magical dimension from deck or graveyard to hand. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, draw a card equals the number of spellcaster monsters you control that plays the same number of cards from your hand on top of your deck in any order. So, is magical dimension any good?
Not really.
Oh. Okay, so another card that's not very good. I mean, the whole cycling your hand is neat.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, next up is Timaeus, the Dragon of Destiny.
Okay, I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at Magical Dimension because I forgot what that card does.
Fair enough. While you're doing that, I'll explain who Timaeus is. So, in the arc, after Battle City...
Oh yeah, this card sucks.
Timaeus, or...
Magical Dimension. If you control a spellcaster monster, you can target one monster you control. Tribute that target, then special summon a spellcaster monster from your hand, then you can destroy a monster on field. It's a quick play, which is cool.
It's kind of lame.
You have to have a spellcaster on the field and in your hand already.
Yeah, it's lame. Anyway,
it's alright.
So basically, they did a movie, I think it was?
No, it was an entire arc.
Okay, yeah, it's a whole story arc where they basically went to Atlantis and met these 3 dragons.
I thought this was from when they went into the video game world.
No, this is after that.
Oh, okay.
That was a filler arc.
Oh, this was also a filler arc.
Well, it was a filler arc between battles.
Was this a filler arc or was it a central story arc?
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so basically there are these 3 dragons. Timaeus is one of them. Another and
Critias.
yeah, Critias, and I don't remember the one I actually.
Hermos.
Huh? Hermos is the only one that I've ever actually used. So the whole shtick was that Hermos fused with Red Eyes Black Dragon and made the Red Eyes Black Dragon sword. Ceratoss would fuse with trap cards. He only ever fused with 2: Crush Card and Mirror Force.
There are lots of the Mirror Force versions.
Yeah. The Mirror Force one was called Mirror Force Dragon. It was Crush Card Dragon and Mirror Force Dragon.
These cards got printed in the TCG. These are actual cards.
Well, that's the thing, because we never got the dragons. We only ever got the Eye, Fang, and Claw. It was the Eye of her.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was the Eye of.
Which is the fusion spells.
Which was the fusion spells to make them. Timaeus fused with Dark Magician Girl to make Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight, and with Dark Magician to make Dark Magician the Dragon Knight.
Oh, okay.
And Konami did a whole, because they released the alt art of Dark Magician Girls with all that stuff. So now we're getting Timaeus himself. So let's see if he's actually any good. Level 8 Light Dragon Effect Monster, 2800 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn. You can send a Spellcaster monster or a spell or trap that specifically lists the card Dark Magician in its text from your hand or face on your field to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand.
Amazing.
And he's level 8. Isn't Dark Magician level 7?
Doesn't matter.
But, during your main phase, you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including at least one spellcaster.
This card is amazing.
Hold on, because that makes actively hard making Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight and Dark Magician the Dragon Knight actually really easy, because their requirements is Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl and a dragon.
You know what else is Dark Magician and one dragon type monster?
Who?
Dragoon.
Let's not talk about Dragoon.
This is just Dragoon Turbo.
It's just Dragoon. Timaeus is just Dragoon Turbo. Granted, it's not
realizing it's just Dragoon Turbo.
Granted, it's not a full power Dragoon, because you're only using one normal monster to make it.
Yeah,
but it's still Dragoon.
Still Dragoon. You still get a negate. He still beefs. He still can't be targeted. He still can't be destroyed.
It's still Dragoon. This is Dragoon Turbo. Dark Magician deck has become Dragoon Turbo with this dude.
No, literally, Dark Magician decks are just Dragoon Turbo at this point.
And this is also a secret.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's awesome. Next card is Illusion of Chaos. Level 7 Dark Spellcaster Ritual Effect Monster. 2100 attack, 2500 defense. So just inverse Dark Magician stats. You can Ritual Summon this card with Chaos Form, so we're finally getting the Dark Magician Chaos Forms Ritual Monster. You can only use this card named first and second effects once per turn each. Number 1, you can reveal this card in your hand. Add one Dark Magician or one non-ritual monster that specifically lists that card's name in its text from your deck to your hand. Then place one card from your hand on the top of the deck. Awesome. 2, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one Dark Magician from your graveyard, and if you do, negate that effect. Double awesome. So that's
a surprisingly good ritual monster.
Oh, it's one of the best standalone ritual monsters the game's had in a long time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just a single ritual monster that you can play in a deck. Not sure. I mean, you've got the entire ritual archetype of Drytron, but I mean, it's good. And
just reveal to search for search for any non-ritual monster that lists Dark Magician.
Yeah, and so for those that are wondering about Chaos Form specifically, like exactly how it's worded and exactly how everything works here, it's a ritual spell card. This card can be used to ritual summon any Chaos or Blackluster Soldier ritual monster. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, and or banish Blue Eyes White Dragon or Dark Magician from your graveyard. So you can either tribute them from your hand or field, or banish it from your graveyard, whose total levels exactly equal the level of the Chaos or BLS ritual monster you ritual summon. So
normally you're supposed to do this. Well, before you could only do this with Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon.
So there's Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and there is a Blackluster Soldier Chaos Ritual monster.
Yeah. And now we're getting Illusion of Chaos, the Dark Magician version.
Right.
Who is level 7, so a single Dark Magician covers the entire
right, and which you can banish from your graveyard.
But then you have to run a Ritual monster with the Ritual card.
The counterpoint to that is that it doesn't matter, because once per turn, every turn, you can just reveal them in your hand
and search
a Dark Magician monster or a non-ritual monster that lists Dark Magician in its text.
Oh yeah.
So you can summon Magician's Rod. You can.
That's fair.
Yeah, you can search Magician's Rod. You can search Magician's Souls. You can search Dark Magician Girl. You can search Dark Magician himself. Mm-hmm. You can search any Dark Magician monster.
Oh, actually, or any spell or trap too, because it just says any non-ritual. No, it has to be a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then you have to place a card from your hand on top. You could very well just place him on top. Next turn, draw, reveal, search again.
Right.
So that's interesting. Last card is a monster who's on the front of the pack. It is a fusion. Dark Master of Chaos. Level 8 Dark Spellcaster, 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. Materials: Dark Magician, +1 Chaos or Blackluster Ritual monster.
Gee, I wonder where we can get that at.
You can only use this card. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name once per turn. If this card is fusion summoned, target a light or dark monster in the graveyard. Special summon it.
Broken.
2. You contribute a light, 1 light, and 1 dark monster. Banish all monsters your opponent controls.
Broken.
If this fusion summon card is controlled by battle or card effect, target a spell card in your graveyard. Add it back to your hand.
For the third time. Broken.
Lots of potential here. Also, it looks a lot like Dark Paladin.
And this is the cover card for the set.
Yeah.
There's a ton of potential here.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am really, 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 really curious now as to, with the amount of support that both of these archetypes have, is some kind of a hybrid Chaos Blue Eyes Dark Magician deck possible?
No.
What? What do you mean no? Why?
Because
is there just too many cards for each of them?
There's just way too many cards that each of the decks need to run just for a single deck to function.
I mean, think about it. 3 Chaos form.
Mm-hmm.
3 Dark Magician, 3 Blue Eyes. 3 Magician Souls. Maybe 3 Magician's Rod it's probably your only normal summon. Like 1 Timaeus, probably 1 to 2 each of the ritual monsters. Probably 3 Polymerization, I guess. 1 Magicalized Fusion.
About to say
2 Eternal Soul, 2 of the Blue Eyes Tablet trap card that we read earlier. I mean, there's a legitimate discussion to be had here, I think, on a combined Blue Eyes Dark Magician deck. I mean, this supports enough because you need light and dark monsters, and the payoff for this card is so great that, plus, I mean.
Oh wait! I just thought of a combo. Hold on. So you have the fusion, you have the ritual in hand, and you have Dark Magician and Timaeus on field. And
I would just like to say, Dark Magician plus Blue Eyes alternative is a Dragoon.
Yeah. So what you can do is activate Timaeus, fuse the Illusion of Chaos with your Dark Magician.
Oh, Timaeus is light.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Drop the Dark Master Chaos. His effect will immediately pop off, giving you back your Dark Magician. Effect attribute off Timaeus and Dark Magician. Board wipe, 3K direct.
Yeah, for sure.
Granted, it requires having a Dark Magician. It requires having Timaeus on board with Dark Magician and Illusion of Chaos either in your hand or on board, which isn't hard.
No, I mean everything is so searchable now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like particularly
and everything just freely special summons the Dark Magician.
Realistically, all you need to do this is Illusion of Chaos, and that's it.
Yeah. The deck, I'm telling you, there's something here. People may not acknowledge it, but all the waves of support that this deck has had in the past, Soul Servants, Magician's Souls, the Dark Magicians, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, this deck is more than playable. This deck is downright competitive. It gets down and dirty to do it, It focuses on a kind of slower control game between Eternal Soul. I mean, think about it. You've already got a loop established with Eternal Souls and Dark Magical Circle, where every turn you can special summon a monster at spell speed 2. You can special summon a Dark Magician, and then every time a Dark Magician is special summoned, you can banish a card on your opponent's field. Every single time.
Oh yeah, and then of course you also have the board wipe potential. Just go for game with the Dark Master of Chaos.
Yeah, and you have access to a rank 7 toolbox.
Yeah. Now the thing about Blue Eyes, the reason why is because Blue Eyes loves taking advantage of the rank 8 toolbox.
Yeah, so if you can splash them together, it would be.
You're talking about an extra deck that's really tight.
The thing is, though, the Dark Magician extra deck is not that tight. I mean, you run 1 Flare, you run 1 of that Fusion, 2 Dragoons, and past that...
Oh, wait, Timaeus is level 8.
Yeah, a level 8 light dragon type monster.
Yeah.
I mean, you run 2 to 3 Dragoons, you run the Dark Magicians, you run maybe... If you're feeling crazy, if you're running 3 Apprentice Illusion Magician, which I think you should, then you would run like the Norito the Moral Leader, which you can rank up into another one, who I don't remember the name of.
Neither do I. I mean, maybe? It's going to take a lot of testing.
Oh, don't think I won't put this together. I love Dark Magician as an archetype. I don't think any of these cards are... like tier 1, but it's a fun playable deck.
Oh yeah, no, like I say, especially once it gets Timaeus, because the deck just gets much better, searchable,
and dropping 2,800 monsters on board helps.
Oh yeah, just to drop a 2,800 beat stick, and then go to fuse into go swing, and then main phase 2 go into Dragoon. Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Dragoon, so it comes with all the issues that people have with Dragoon. Namely, why are you playing Dragoon? You're a horrible person.
You don't have to run Red Eyes Fusion or Red Eyes.
You don't have to do the Verte play. So in this situation, there's actually interplay instead of
It's not even that there's interplay, it's that you're not cheesing it.
Yeah.
You're like legitimately hard summoning it the way it was meant to be summoned.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. So. Closer to the way you're meant to summon it, because you are still supposed to fuse Dark Magician and Red Eyes, but now you're doing it with a card that is with 1 brick instead of 2.
But the thing is, it's in a Dark Magician deck. It's not a brick.
Exactly, but in this situation, Dark Magician wouldn't be a brick.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to open a hand with a bunch of Dark Magician support cards and then just search the Dark Magician later. I don't want to open 3 Dark Magician and know where to summon it, but
Yeah, still. But even then, even if you open 2 Dark Magicians and then the Ritual, you can then, if you have something else that lets you shuffle your deck, you can activate the Ritual to put one of your Dark Magicians back on top.
Yeah.
And then shuffle the deck using something else that makes you search.
Yeah, I mean... It's so good. I mean, you have Magician Soul Servants. It's so good.
Yeah.
There's so much support here to make this deck playable.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of pieces, but we'll have to wait and see how they all
fit together.
Oh,
I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. I would wait a little bit longer before before start buying up the Magician Souls.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I didn't say I was putting.
Wait for the reprint.
I didn't say I was playing this IRL. I didn't say I was paying for this out, but this will be a fun YGO Pro deck.
Oh yeah. Again, up until we get all the rest, up until either Magician Souls gets a common reprint and they're 15 cents a pop. At that point, it's might as well. I can get everything. I can get the whole deck for $30. Let's go.
I think realistically, either they're gonna wait for the next complete series or the next season 3 Legendary Duelists, or if they don't do Legendary Duelist season 3, then what they'll do is they might reprint it either in the Megatins. In theory, they could do that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or they could do it in Brothers of Legend. But the thing is, here's the real kicker: they can't really wait to reprint Legendary Duelist season 3 cards until they have to do it before Burst of Destiny, because you need the Adusted Gold and possibly
Yeah.
Malicious Bane.
Yeah, and the Dusted Gold last time I looked was $50.
Oh, it's over 100. It's been over 100 for
last time I looked.
ever.
But that was like a year ago, last time I looked.
Oh, yeah, no, it's been over 100 pretty much since release.
Okay, because, like, it's only been printed once, and if you're running Heroes, you have to run it.
Yeah, well, you have to run, like, one.
Yeah, you only need one, but it still makes the deck, budget-wise, nearly unplayable, because who's going to drop $100 into Heroes?
Let me try this again. The lowest near mint first ed unverified is 200, and the lowest near mint first ed verified is 300.
Listen, at that point, you might as well just go build Tri Brigade with an access code. For $300 for one card.
Pretty much.
Just go build Tri Brigade with an access code. You'll have a better time.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have a more competitive deck, but the new hero deck is definitely playable-ish. If you watch MPT's 10-minute testing on it, it's very interesting. It's got a lot of very unique end boards that it can do. It's very mid-rangey.
Very splashable?
No, not really splashable, but it's very mid-rangey. It can keep going and keep going and keep recurring over and over. But it's definitely not elemental heroes anymore, just hero.
But I mean, it's been that way for a while, just due to the extra heroes, which are the Link hero monsters.
Yeah, so like Dread Decimator and Cross Crusader. But
yeah.
The new stuff that's coming in Burst of Destiny is heroes will be playable.
Oh yeah, like the thing I'm excited about though is the new Blue. I'm hoping the new Blue Eyes card makes Blue Eyes a little more playable because I really want to utilize my 3 copies of the structure deck Kaiba Blue Eyes.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to utilize them in something.
The best artwork.
Oh yeah, the OG artworks. I've been chomping on the bit to utilize them in something.
Oh, for sure. For me, the structure deck Kaiba Blue Eyes and the structure deck Yugi Dark Magician were always the best artwork of those.
Yeah, because it was the original artwork.
Technically it wasn't.
It was the original artwork for the anime.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And the OCG. What we got was actually their alt arts that they got later.
Right. So
for some reason.
All right.
Oh, one more thing I want to say about the Battles of Chaos though.
Sure.
It will have an alternative art, a new art for Dark Magician.
What makes you say that? It's a core set.
It says so on the box.
For the OCG, it might.
For the OCG, yeah. I would not be surprised if that ends up being our collector rare when we get it. For Starlight.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
that would be tragic.
Yeah, because what we've been getting. So what I'm thinking is that they'll put Dark Magician in, like the new artwork Dark Magician in as not as just a collector rare or Starlight or whatever.
Future lost art for us.
No. What I'm thinking is when we get that, because in this past set was a Stardust based set, we got collector rare Stardust.
Starlight rare.
Starlight rare. Thank you. So I'm thinking for when we get this, our callback Starlight rare is going to be this new art Dark Magician.
It could be, but I think they're trying to do all the Signer Dragons right now.
Well, they
did Black Rose, they did Stardust.
But then the next set, which for us is Burst of Destiny, doesn't have any Signer Dragons.
It doesn't have Signer Dragon support, but I mean...
It doesn't have any Signer Dragon stuff in it at all. It's...
Yeah, but... They did Trish, Black Rose, and Stardust. I mean, that was the last 3.
But Trish isn't a Signer Dragon. But
it also wasn't relevant. Well, I guess they did just have the Ice Barrier support come out in the new structure deck at that time.
Exactly. So we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I'm thinking that the new art.
I think they're drumming up. I think they're doing reprints of like extra high rarity reprints of certain Plant Synchro cards.
Maybe?
Because I think that's what it is. So, like, realistically, we could see, like, Ancient Fairy Dragon and Burst of Destiny.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
So, okay, let's think about it like this. The levels that the Zhang Zhang can hit, or the Sword Souls, are 8 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would make sense for them to reprint as a Starlight as a level 8 that they haven't already done? They already did Stardust. Or Dragon Archfiend?
I mean, yeah, for level 8, that's the only other sign. If we're sticking with the level 8 synchros and it's got to be a Signer Dragon, the only other 2 are Red Dragon Archfiend and Black Feather Dragon
Black Winged.
Yeah, Black Winged Dragon.
Yeah.
Who are both terrible.
I mean, this day and age show is Stardust.
Well, I mean, look, so I'm saying, like, even back in the day,
They were never played.
They were never played outside of kitchen table Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's true, because we did play them.
I played the crap out of Red Dragon Archfiend.
I remember. I very, very, very clearly remember.
Oh yeah, I would make him and get so excited, and then just Jason, man, he would just shrug and make Colossal Fighter.
Yep.
And then just shrug at it.
All right, everybody, that'll do it. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode.
Ran a little long, but
That'll be all right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. We ask that you please follow us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. You can follow Caleb at JamTheMan17. Please join our Discord server. Link is in the description below. We have a ton of really cool and really fun people on our Discord server. We always have remote duel games going. Pretty soon, I'm probably going to host our first ever remote duel tournament in the server. So please be sure to check us out and give that a try. We ask that you please be sure to check out Team Dark Arm Dealings. They're our sister YouTube channel. Their link is in the description. Check out ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. Again, link, guess where? In the description below.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's it. I think that wraps us up.
Yeah, that's about everything I think of. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Right now, it's just a
Archive.
We might throw something on there in the future. Don't know yet.
Yeah, and something else I wanted to ask everybody, please let us know if you're interested in us possibly live streaming our recording sessions on Twitch. It's something that we've kind of mulled around in our brains in the past, but it's not something that we've committed to doing quite yet. So let us know what you think about that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Take care, everybody.